In this week, there's only one more day left of this week, so that means tomorrow, does it not? Ben Jacobs has been talking about what is going on with the ratification situation. So Jim, very, very close. What's Omar Berrada's first job at Manchester United? Going to talk about that. Going to talk what is involved in that as well. And we're going to go through everything that Ten Hag was talking about in the press conference earlier on today regarding updates. Was it his fault that Lisandro Martinez is injured? Should he have been brought off earlier? He says no. We will discuss, as always, with your comments in the live section and, of course, your comments on the video after it has finished live. Get on it. Get involved in the chat, everybody. And, of course, make sure when you're tuning in or when you first step foot into the room, you give the video a like, first of all, and then you hit that subscribe button because you love Forever United TV and you want to be an absolute legend, which anyone who subscribes to this channel is automatically upgraded to. Let's get into what is going on with United today. Our personal message, obviously, first of all, he was live earlier on location today with Andy Tate, Andy's first venture onto the channel. I just want to say thank you so much for all of your kind messages of support with Andy while we was live, and then on the video afterwards as well, guys. We are going to be mixing up the content in between everything that we are doing with the studio and match days, obviously. It isn't going to be the same old, same old. We're going to be doing things differently on here. I've told you about this before. But yes, there's a little taster of what we're going to be doing as well. We're just going to make things better, tweak things up, and get out and about a little bit more. Well, a lot more, put it that way. But yes, we have got a game coming up. I do want to get into a lot of what Ten Hag was saying earlier on because I was out. It was Kaz's birthday. We went out this afternoon. Thank you so much for all your well wishes and birthday wishes for Kaz as well. She was blown away by the support, so really appreciate that from the community. And again, please do get your birthday wishes in the chat as well. We had a great time. It cost quite a bit, but hey, you only have birthdays once a year, don't you? So we went out, enjoyed ourselves, come back, and now we're talking to you guys tonight, finishing off the evening. Hope you're well. Weather is shocking again, but hey, at least we're inside this time. But let's get into everything that is going on. Ben Jacobs doing a lot of talking, an awful lot of talking. Now, Ben, as you remember, was one who was all over the takeover and where it was going. I'm just going to bring up some quotes that he has said. First of all, regarding Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the ratification. Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his 25% stake in Manchester United is expected to be 100% completed and approved by the Premier League by the end of this week. Or into next week. Like I said earlier on, but it's just been confirmed by people that have been all over this. Everything is moving along very, very nicely. It was earmarked as the second week. That officially has started now and will be ending, obviously, next week. Valentine's Day and all that garbage, if you're involved in that. But yeah, we are going to find out. It could possibly be tomorrow, so Jim Ratcliffe is in charge of Manchester United. Now, there's a lot of discussions going on, obviously, that we've talked about, but what are his jobs? What is he going to be getting into, and what is he going to be sorting out as soon as he steps foot in the door at Manchester United? Well, staffing situation, the recruitment team. The feeling is that Manchester United will have 2 senior recruitment hires in the coming weeks. Our sporting director and the head of recruitment, which we already knew, which Ben has confirmed. Omar Berrada will have a say on Manchester United's new sporting director and who that should be. Now, that is the big one in all of this. So it's like Sir Jim Ratcliffe's main appointment, INEOS, along with the Glazers. Yeah, we have to involve the Glazers because they are still part of the club. I just want to start talking about INEOS and Manchester United and just trying to avoid all Glazer talk, but we have to own up. We have to admit it's not our fault. We have to admit that the Glazers are in situ and they're not going anywhere right now, so we have to involve them and we have to talk about them as well. DJ John's having a shocker there. Look at that, -22 in Sweden. Ouch! Get your comments, keep them coming in, as random as they may be, and just keep them flying, guys. Make sure you do please hit the video, give the video a like as well. I'm challenging you to get to that 100 mark again before 10 minutes. You're halfway there. You're ahead of the schedule. So let's get on it and keep on it. Yeah, Omar Berrada, the main appointment. That was the big one. That was a big one for Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS, because that's put a man in control that can run everything. Yes, Sir Jim is going to have his say, so everybody else for this side. We've gone into detail on all of that. But Berrada, I feel like this is him handpicking his team. INEOS wanted the best in class. Starts at the top. On the board level, you've got one of the most experienced men in football. That's said by David Gill as well in Jean-Claude Blanc. Everyone thought this man was going to be the CEO of Manchester United. Not so, and we've appointed Omar Berrada. A coup, they were calling it in sports media across the world. Couldn't believe that Manchester United took Berrada away from Manchester City. But he is in situ. That was the big one. The best in class. Sir Jim Ratcliffe isn't the best at running a football club. Well, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the best at turning businesses around and earning an awful lot of money from them. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the best at sniffing out best in class in different departments. Now, David Brailsford alongside him, some would argue, isn't best in class in certain areas, especially not football. So what do? They bring their qualities to the table, and what do they decide to do? They decide to bring in the best in class in football, in that position that can cover a multitude of roles within a football club, and now it is on Berrada to start building this team with input from the likes of Sir David Brailsford and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But Berrada looks like he's the man that is calling the shots from behind the scene. So talks are ongoing between Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Brailsford and Omar Berrada regarding the next man through the door, which is going to be that director of football, and that is said to be as close as the ratification of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. In fact, could go side by side on the announcement side of things for both of them, i.e. Sir Jim Ratcliffe fully in charge and accepted by the Premier League, and United announcing a director of football at the same time. So the key in all of this, and the main thing in all of this, and what we've spoken about so far, is Berrada being the man that's calling the shots around the football club. He is going to be the main honcho. Yes, you've got the big guns that we've spoken about, the sirs, should we call them, just for stopping me being tongue-tied constantly by saying sir, so-and-so, so-and-so. Let's call them the sirs. Let's bracket that off nice and neat. The sirs, you know who they are, there's two of them. They have put Berrada in charge of what is going on at Manchester United, the hiring and the firing as such. And I feel like this is answering questions that people have had regarding what's I'm going to have to say his name. After bracketing him off as sirs, I'm going to have to go into it because I've got to bring one of them in. So, Brailsford. Everyone complaining, like, what does he know? Look at what he's done at Nice. Nice haven't really done much, have they? Look where they are. Well, they are second in the league behind PSG, which is the walkover league because of all the money with the Qatari owners over there. So they're doing quite well now after 5 years, yes. Took them a while to find their feet, but what are we saying here? United's not an overnight success. United are not going to get turned into and transformed into title-winning teams and challenging on all fronts just overnight. This is going to be, like I said, I think this is a 5-year project. I do. So what did they learn beforehand? They were learning at the trade. They were learning about running a football club. So what have they taken from running Nice? Well, they need better men in charge of certain roles. In comes Berrada, who knows everything and has worked at the top of two of the biggest and most successful clubs going. I hate to say biggest, they're not the biggest city, but in terms of recent years and success-wise, they're up there, aren't they? They're expected to be challenging for everything, like Barcelona used to be. He's there, and now he is calling the shots. And that is the biggest thing out of all of this. They've just gone, well, yeah, David Brailsford may not know much about football. He hasn't got much of history. It's all in bike racing. So what does he do? Uses his skills to negotiate and bring in the right man. So that's what Sir David Brailsford does. He's the one that instigated Berrada. He's the one that brought Sir Jim in and the Glazers very, very quickly. So when asking about what Sir David Brailsford brings to Manchester United, there is your answer. The man now who is in charge, because of his football knowledge, of bringing in the next man below him, which United have not had, for God knows, ever, in a director of football. Bang, bang, bish, bosh. There's your answer straight away. Right across the face for all those doubters on that side of it. Yeah, it may not come to fruition, but right now I'm calling it as it is, which looks like a shrewd move, and I feel Brailsford has nailed it on that side of things so far. So, first tick in the box, ka-ching, whoop, away we go, on to the next one. Who is the director of football gonna be? Obviously, we know the main protagonists, we know the main candidates, we've talked about them, Dan Ashworth, Paul Mitchell, possibly. But a name coming in is outgoing sporting director at Roma, And Mr. Thiago Pinto. Who the hell is he, you might add? Yeah, he's only 39. He's not long finished playing football. A former sporting player in Portugal. His roles so far in management within football above playing level have been a director of football at Benfica for 4 years before being hired by Roma, in which he has been in that role for another 4 years on top. Now, Jose Mourinho has left Roma. It looks like Pinto is also on his way out of Roma. Why are we going for Pinto? Why is he a candidate, you might ask? Experience-wise, you would say definitely he's lacking in that department. He isn't as experienced as so-called other candidates, you might say. But what it is Manchester United actually looking outside of the box, looking for the up-and-coming talent, tapping into the knowledge of Jean-Claude Blanc, tapping into the knowledge of the contacts that they've got, not just looking at that name, not going at it like United would have in the transfer market years ago. That Haaland looks like a good player, doesn't he? Yeah, let's just say we looked at him and we missed out, but at least we can make ourselves look half decent by saying we were looking at a good player, we just missed out. Now that was what United's approach was. It's like, who's good? Di Maria. All right, yeah, that's good. Let's bring him in. Who else? Falcao. Yeah, he was fantastic, wasn't he? Let's bring him in. Let's bring anyone who's got a name to the club so it looks like we know what we're talking about. Basically, you're just playing FIFA. That's all United were doing for the last decade. Simple as that. Now, Pinto, I don't know much about him. I'm not going to try and act like I know much about him and what he's done and what he's achieved or what is it? He's been at Roma. Is it the Europa Conference League that they've won under Jose? That's a trophy that he's won in his time while being a sporting director at Roma. But what we are doing, I feel, is approaching things completely different now at Manchester United, and it's a completely new approach to recruiting staff, recruiting players, and this is a sign. If Pinto came in, then this would be the clearest sign that Manchester United are completely changing. It's not just the obvious that's in front of you. There's more work going on behind the scenes, and do you know what? Berrada might be looking at this as a possibility. There's no smoke without fire, and people like Pinto would have been approached. I'm sure people that have been relieved from roles are on the list at Manchester United because they're easier to approach. But ultimately, you look at it, you go, right, he's been 3 years, 4 years, he's been 3 years and 4 years at his previous two. Maybe now, with that 8 years experience, he's ready to step up to the plate at Manchester United, working under someone who knows everything in Jean-Claude Blanc and Omar Berrada. And working under them, you've got that enthusiastic young breed of sporting directors, the enthusiasm and the new look of football. Manchester United need to move with the times on and off the pitch. Maybe this is a sign that United are actually looking at this completely differently and going, we need to be ready for the change that is coming. We need to know about the up-and-coming young players, not just the obvious players that every sporting director at every single club in the world knows. This guy obviously has worked at a lower level, and you know what quality comes through the Portuguese ranks. For instance, he could be well contacted wise in Portugal. Obviously now in Italy, the young talent that's coming through both of them countries as well. Added to what we already have at Manchester United, that is the type of sporting director I think Manchester United are going to be looking at now. And I'm just trying to explain why we might be looking at Pinto, and everyone's like, why are we not just going for best in class in Ashworth? Well, Pinto could be the next best in class. It's all about doing your homework and doing your recruiting, and that counts for staff as well as players. So maybe this is the changing of the times for Manchester United. There's other stories I want to get into, but I'm going to come to the chat right now. I've just been talking for 15 minutes there, guys. Over 100 likes in the bag. Thank you so much. Super chat in from Alien Tenno. On a diet, currently chained up in the cellar. Oh, that's not sounding good, Alien. We have a new member in Neil Driscoll. Welcome to the Members Club, my friend. Gifted to you by the Honest Tiger, the legend that is the Honest Tiger. Guys, please keep liking the video. And of course, if you are just tuning in going, who is this guy? I recognise this voice. Yes, it is me. I'm Adam. I'm on Forever United TV. That's what you're watching right now. And you just need to go bing, like, and smack on the subscribe button. There you go. And that's your night finished. Sit back, crack open a bevy, and watch the action, because I'm going into the chat. Gee, I need a drink myself. Oh God, you can tell I've been out this afternoon, can't you? I've not stopped talking. Breathe. Okay, into the chat we dive. Where are we up to? Leo J, hope you're doing well, Leo. 400 million to spend with a decent CEO and director of football. We could have a decent summer. Yes, we could, Leo. I've been talking the positive for a few weeks now, and no one has bleeding said anything. As soon as I go down the negative road, everyone jumps on my back going, just like the others. Everyone moaning about the football club all the time. What is negative about what I'm saying right now? I'm trying to spin a big positive on this, and it's not even spin. These are factual events that are going on right now. We've got a man that wants to take United forward, and he's looking at recruiting a team that's going to help him to do that are just purely looking at football matters. If you didn't watch last night's show on the Glazers, guys, and what Mark Ogden was talking about, please do go and watch it and listen to what we were talking about in terms of what United used to be like with just the Glazers and what we could be like going forward with Sir Jim Radcliffe. That's what you need to do. It is all just an education about what was going on at Manchester United before. Some in-depth look about staff, speaking to staff that used to work at United and still work there now, going on about the problems that just working for the Glazers alone brought Manchester United and why we were so hamstrung in moving forward and everyone overtaking us. I'm talking now past that tonight and what we can actually be looking forward to going forward as a football club. Everyone wishing Kaz happy birthday in the chat. Love that. Thank you, guys. Do you think Berrada will be in the job before the end of the season? He's on gardening leave now, Tony, and nothing's been said. It's all hush-hush. So I believe that he's just advising behind the scenes. Nothing can be said. Nothing can be done. He can't put his name to anything, obviously, yet until everything is ratified. I think when Sir Jim is ratified, I think we'll start to know more about things like that, Tony. That's my guess anyway. I think he will have to come out and speak to the speaking public. And I think that's, like I've said many times, what everyone is waiting for. Gehan says in the chat, it will take about 4 years to really challenge. We will make increases every season. That's true. That is true. Niall, term ratification has me worried. Does this mean we have more rats coming in? I've listened to the show earlier on today, and we were talking about the state of Old Trafford with Andy Tate. He's saying, when he made the comment, the rats have got a better view of the football at Old Trafford and get a better match day experience than the actual fans. Yeah, everyone who goes to Old Trafford knows what I mean by that. Adam, do you have any idea who will be the new director of football? Well, I just talked about Pinto. He is a genuine candidate, guys. I don't know why I'm saying genuine instead of genuine. I'll blame the drink as well. Kaz had me drinking cocktails before. Said I have to. She forced me to do it, so I did it. It's not my fault, I'm telling you now. Yeah? Will Villa be fatigued for Sunday, Bexy says. I will talk about Villa, actually, a little bit later on after what Ten Hag was saying in the press conference. But, yeah, I think they will be. I looked at them last night. They looked shot to shit. Honestly, they looked absolutely battered. I've not seen them play that bad all season. Hopefully that carries on into Sunday for us, and we could be looking at 3 in a row. Shh, whisper it. United looking like they're in a bit of a form and run, and it might be climbing up the table. I didn't say that, honestly. No, I'm not jinxing it. Sorry, my membership finished. Got a message to pay for myself. Hey, Neil, don't you dare worry about apologising, mate, or anything like that. Anything that anyone brings to the table for the channel, all contributions are more than welcome. Just you guys watching and liking the video is all I care about. The mega contributors like the Honest Tiger and everyone else who donates memberships and that, they are just all bonuses on top, which we invest straight back into the channel to bring you guys the better content. So don't ever think about apologising for that, Neil. I love you being part of the show. and that's all that matters. We have become too accustomed, to spin, and dross. We have. This is why I'm really looking forward, and I hope I'm not disappointed when Sir Jim Ratcliffe does start talking, that he does back up a lot of the rumours and a lot of talk that's been going. I mean, when Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Manchester, has been talking about having meetings with him, you know it's serious. And there is another piece now I wanted to quickly just touch on before we move on to the next subject about what Sir Jim Ratcliffe has been saying. He also goes on to say that Paul Mitchell is not in the frame to be sporting director at the role at Roma that Pinto has vacated. So, Mitchell, Pinto, Ashworth, people like this, these are all in on what could happen going forward with Manchester United sporting director. All of these candidates are in the frame. Obviously, Dougie Freedman as well. He's also in the frame. You've heard about all there. We were talking about Maldini as well. People that we didn't expect to be in line for the role or thought of for the role are actually in on it. So yeah, let's let the people that know what they're doing do their jobs. We have the right sort of guys in place now to make the right decisions at Manchester United, and I think I'm quietly confident that they will make the right judgment and bring in the right man. They've already started well, so I can see it continuing on. And Berrada's not going to pick any duck egg, is he? Let's be honest. He's going to be picking someone who is going to work to his standards. So he knows enough. He knows enough people out there, and I'm confident that we will make the right decision. Stadium news-wise, this goes into what Sir Jim Ratcliffe is talking about and what's coming up. Ben Jacobs also talked. The new stadium or redevelopment of Old Trafford is a high priority for INEOS, and they will be consulting the Manchester United fan base on this. So, Sir Jim Ratcliffe had his ideas. We talked about the new stadium this week in depth. We touched on it with Andy. He was giving his thoughts earlier on today as well about not wanting to move from Old Trafford. I've looked into this even more and looked at different options for United, how it works. There are options to redevelop Old Trafford. I just don't want to be kicked out of Old Trafford and not be able to go because we haven't got enough capacity to hold all the season ticket holders. I'm a gold season ticket holder. I've been going to United for years now. It cost me a fortune. I would be massively disappointed if the club said to me that I have to vacate my seat for the season. It would be dreadful. If they didn't relocate me within the stadium, I would be absolutely miffed. So there are complications that come about with redeveloping Old Trafford. But ultimately, I think we all want Old Trafford to be redeveloped and turned into a 90-plus stadium. But it needs to be state-of-the-art and the best. And for me, 800 million spent on one stand is not going to cut it. The South Stand is one part of Old Trafford. The whole stadium needs redeveloping. So it isn't going to be done overnight. It's going to take even longer to redevelop Old Trafford. I think voting with the fans, I think that's right. The fans need to be have their voices heard in all of this. Jim Ratcliffe doing the right thing there in coming to the fan base and finding out what they want. I think that's where he definitely needs to go with this. So that is what Ben was talking about earlier on as well, Len. So, yeah, I think that's definitely high on the priority list for Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I think as soon as he comes in, we're going to be hearing about the director of football, like we've said. And obviously then we're going to start talking about the stadium, the infrastructure, the training ground, everything, really, on all of the infrastructure of Manchester United. So, yeah, they are all positives, and hopefully he backs it up. Alien Tenno with the super chat again. You been on the sex on the beaches? No, what was it actually? Kaz will remember what the drink was called. She'll tell you all in the chat. Let me just get into the chat actually before we move on. Don't mean to be greedy, but wouldn't it be better if Ashworth takes director of football and Mitchell and Pinto roll below? Depends what Berrada wants as his team, doesn't it? He may only want 2 men. He may want 3 men. If there's 2 of them doing it, then fair enough, whatever we want. I always say, look, too many chefs in the kitchen spoils the broth, doesn't it? That's the old saying. I think that's right. Graham will probably correct me if that's wrong, no doubt. But 150 likes in the bag, guys, as well. Over 400 in the room. Where are you? Come on, 200. There's your target. I want that before the 30-minute mark, guys. So, mods, do your job. Get onto it. Let's get them likes up there, please. Yeah, too many chefs in the kitchen. A simple team easy to communicate with, all on the same page. That's what's needed. I think Berrada and 2 more men, I think that should be suffice. I think that will do. And I think United are moving in the right direction with that. I mean, look at it. What do you want? You've got Berrada who does everything. And you've got a director of football and you've got a head of recruitment. You've got all the scouts that are already there. I just feel like it's already moving in that direction of a minimalistic team, but the best people in them positions. What's the crack with John Murtough? He has been offered a role at Manchester United, but it's not as important as the one that he has got right now, Liam. That's the word coming out from the media, that Murtough is thought of for an advisory sort of role at the football club. He's been there for nearly a decade now, and it won't be as important as what he's doing. He obviously is like the so-called director of football right now, but no, that role is going to be gone from him, and Manchester United will be moving forward in a different way. And it's good that David Gill was talking about people coming in from the outside, employing from the outside, not just from within. This is something that Manchester United have never done. So I think for this to be happening, I think this is important and this is a good thing. Everyone can see it. Everyone around Manchester United can see that employing people from outside of Old Trafford, from outside of United, is important to move forward and adapt. So I think that, again, is another plus point for United. And I think that's what will happen with all of the other people coming in. A full new team that know nothing else and have not been discouraged or demotivated by anything that's gone on at Manchester United before. They've got no relation to the club. They're just going to come in and just go cutthroat, need this, don't need that, what are you talking about, get out the door, making serious decisions and making United more efficient, I think is the right word to use in all of that. City are second in revenue, unfortunately. They are a big club. Yeah, but United can topple them. Let's just say that. Paul says, good evening, Adam. Just got home from work. You look a bit Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist, as in, no, I'm not pissed. Give over. I'm just talking positively. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like, doesn't it? When you actually start talking positive, people think you're actually under. Welcome to the Members Club, John Doe, gifted to you by General Foodie, another legend of the channel. Thank you very much, guys. Let's get them likes up to 200, everybody. You're nearly there. You got 3 minutes to get me 22 likes in the bag, and then we can start settling down. I'll give you another target, but I just want to make it sound like you've already done your job, and I'll trick you into getting another one. But hey, that's my job, innit? That's my job. No more jobs for the boys at United, says Stephanie. No, definitely not, Stephanie. Definitely not. What else have we got here? Happy birthday, Kaz. Yeah, time to move on to other news, and that would be what is going on the pitch. Actually, guys, quick one. Would you take Robin van Persie as a striker coach at Manchester United? Bing, 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 bing. Yes, I would. He's doing his coaching badges right now. Under the rules of UEFA, to get your badges, you have to go and work and train with another club from another country. So he took the opportunity. The Dutch connection with Ten Hag, Manchester United, the love affair we've got with Robin van Persie. It was a match made in heaven. He is doing it, but there are rumours, and we're just talking about jobs for the boys. But hey, jobs for the boys when it includes someone like Robin van Persie, and this guy is coaching our forwards. I think it's a positive. It's his first job, his first major job, and some would say, oh God, it's like just straight away. As soon as we see an opportunity for someone who used to be at the club, we're going to take it. But is Robin van Persie not a little bit different? Is he not best in class in that department and knows an awful lot more than a lot of other strikers? As a coach, if he can bring some added quality to Manchester United and our forwards, we definitely need it. And as a man with a tree of knowledge, let's bring him in. I would. As a coach and a striker coach, forward coach, 100%. I think that is a good move from United. But yes, other news. Ten Hag was having his press conference earlier on. First of all, super chat from The Honest Tiger. What do you think about these blue cards? I was touching on blue cards. I was going to come in on it. Should we talk about blue cards quickly? I'm actually all for it. Me and Kaz had a bit of debate over dinner over this regarding blue cards. And someone was saying the other day, it's just going to ruin the game. It's going to make teams go all defensive when they go down to 10 men. It's going to ruin the game. I said differently. I mean, it is for dissent, and this is in grassroots now. So you get sin bin for 10 minutes if you give dissent to the referee. If it happens twice, see you later, there's a red card. I think it will stop players going on at the referee. I do believe that will happen, but still, I think it's not a bad thing. It isn't, and it makes the games more exciting for me. I think teams that, I mean, this can happen to anyone. The referees give random decisions all day. I think, in fact, it could actually start having big impacts on games. It could bring some of the smaller teams back up, because bigger teams could be not liking a certain situation. One of the star players starts mouthing off. Bruno Fernandes got form for it. There's your blue card. 10 minutes off. It's going to stop all of that. So for anyone who doesn't like Bruno Fernandes and his petulance, he should be all for these blue cards. But hey, another card for the referee to hold in his pocket. Is it too much work for the refs? I'm only joking, of course. But yeah, I don't think they're a bad idea. They're in grassroots. It does stop people having to go at the referee. It's protecting the referees more. I know that is a bad thing, and it's not like the referees haven't got enough protection already. But hey, it's not the end of the world. I think it does add a little bit more of a little bit of a twist to the games as well, doesn't it? It's not hockey for F's sake, says Boz. Anyone see the YouTube clip where Robin Van Persie called out his son for making excuses? No, I've not seen that. I think I've seen it on social media, possibly. But yes, that's the sort of man that you need at a football club. Adam, great show again tonight. Well done, buddy. Thank you, John. Love comments like that, mate. Bring the blue card. Bruno will have to be less emotional. Let's see how it works. Happens in rugby. Why not football, says Neil. That's the end of the blue card conversation, guys. Cheers for bringing it up with a super chat on his Tiger. Really appreciate that, mate. And yeah, this weekend, guys, we will have another little mini competition within our membership setup as well. We're going to do the same thing again with the first goal scorer for United against Aston Villa. More news on that as well tomorrow on the show. Actually, no, that's probably going to be on Saturday when I talk more about that. So yes, that will be another one for the members for you to get involved in. 2 new members tonight. If you did want to join the membership club, press the join button below at the bottom of the screen. If you can't see that on your tablet, phone, or whatever you're watching this on tonight, maybe even TV, then drop down in the description of the video and the link is there to become a member. Next to that, of course, is our social accounts at the bottom. And SofaScore, we are our partners and our sporting app alongside FUTV. All of the score updates, injury news, player ratings, player stats, all of that. Team news, everything brought to your mobile device. It's free. Just download the app. It's the quickest, it's the fastest, ranked top 20 on the App Store as well, guys. Partners with FUTV, so get onto that as well. Well, it's free. Why not? Is what I say. Over 200 likes. Well done, everybody. You've smashed it. You're on a roll again. Let's get up to the 250 now, though. Come on, stop slacking. Moving on. Blue cards are done. We're going to talk about our team and what is available for Villa this weekend. Straight out of the press conference, the questions were asked on injury updates. Alessandro Martinez, as we know, is out for a couple of months now. Who is available to come in? Are you likely to play Luke Shaw at centre-back? The question was asked to Ten Hag today, and he answered it saying, yes, Luke Shaw can play there. We have many other capable centre-backs as well at the football club. Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof. Yeah, okay, I don't agree with all of them, but hey, we have plenty of players to cover Martinez, and I'm sure we will be okay going into the Villa game for replacements. One bit of bad news again, though, that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is still not available, so that kind of takes Luke Shaw out of the equation, doesn't it, really, because we need him at left back. We usually get Dalot at left back and Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back when Luke Shaw isn't available. We need Luke on the left, so for me, Johnny Evans and Raphael Varane, there's your partnership. Let's go with that this weekend against Villa, and I think that will be... well, I'm not saying it's going to be comfortable enough to beat Aston Villa or deal with the pace of Aston Villa's forward line. Far from it, but hey, it's done it before. It's managed to handle Liverpool's attack, which is one of the best in the country. So, like Ten Hag said in the press conference, more than adequate replacements for now and the games we've got left. But he did say that Martinez will be back this season, which we have to take as good news, because at one point it did look like we were going to be out. We're going to have Martinez out for the rest of the season. So, yeah, let's just look at it that way and go, we are lucky. I'm going to look at it as a positive. It could have been worse. Tony said he's going with Onana, Dello, Varane, Maguire, Shaw, Casemiro, Meno, Bruno, Garnacho, Rashford and Højlund for the game against Aston Villa this weekend. Any news on Malacia, says Leo. It's still not ready. Still training. Him and Mason Mount were brought up. Ten Hag talked about both of them and said neither are still available for selection, but it is looking better for both of them players. We may see Malacia and Mount available for the Luton game. So that one is a week on Sunday. So there's a possibility there still for them two players to come in. So take that as a tiny little positive again. We've got them two players to come back. And then you may have another option at centre-back because Malacia is available for left-back. There you go. And Wan-Bissaka will probably be available for that game as well in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, barring Martinez, as of the Luton game next week, Manchester United could have everybody available. So, yeah, it looks quite comfortable in terms of squad depth and the availability of certain players. But, hey, you can argue all day which ones your favourites are and who is the best in certain positions. At least we've got bodies there to cover. And I'm looking at Aston Villa. I'm looking how they played the other night, last night. I covered the game. I was absolutely... I was shocked. I was shocked at how poor Aston Villa were in that game. It was like a completely different team. A completely different team to what has been playing. And that's 2 defeats at Villa Park now. As you know, they had that long run, starting with the defeat of Manchester United and Ten Hag last season. Ronaldo was playing for us, and he was captain for us that day. That's how long ago it was. And now they are losing games. So let's look at it this way. Any sort of slip in form for Villa has got to be a good thing for Manchester United. And let's look at that as a positive. Ed Barrett says, Harry Mass in training with the first team now. So in a pinch, he could get minutes soon. Yeah, I think it's just an experience thing. Don't expect to see him this season. But yes, it's good that he's in with the first team. When we've got players of that age, like 16-year-olds coming through into the first team and training with Manchester United senior players, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. General Foodie says, can't see Mount working out and he'll be sold next summer, in my opinion. If Ten Hag's here, he won't. I have not seen a keeper at United like Onana since Massimo Taibi, says Richard. I think a few would agree with you on that one. Don't jinx it now, Adam, says DJ John. I talked about jinxing it before, therefore counteracting the jinx, John. So don't worry, mates. I did say, hopefully, I'm not talking out of line here and jinxing everything. Honest Tiger says, you know Villa will turn up on Sunday. That's my ultimate worry. The backlash game. Why does it always come about that Manchester United are playing a team that need a result and need a reaction? It always seems to be the way for us, doesn't it? It could be bad timing. McGinn was dreadful, says Stephanie. He was off it completely, and he's had a good season as well. Henry Long says, Adam, great show as usual. Did you read what Dwight Yorke said about Rasmus Højlund? It was not nice. No. He's bigging up Marcus Rashford and saying that Rasmus Højlund is not convinced about. Well, obviously, no one's fully convinced with Rasmus, but what we're talking about is he has shown promise in the last few weeks. Why we have to sort of make a big point about what's happened all season rather than talking about the present is kind of agenda-driven for me, and the fact that he's backing Marcus Rashford as well. I mean, Marcus Rashford from 2 seasons ago was shocking. No one talks about that anymore because of what he did last season. Marcus Rashford early doors this season, absolutely diabolical, shocking. Why is no one talking about that now? But they're all right to talk about Rashford's little bit of upturn in form in terms of numbers over the last few weeks. Every former player has his favourites, I say. Anyone who has spoken to a certain player or has got an affiliation with a certain player always speaks more highly of that player. And I feel like that's what Dwight Yorke is doing. He doesn't know Højlund from Adam. He's just seen him on TV and he's judging him like everyone else from afar. New player in, young player. Of course he's not going to hit the ground running at Manchester United. Have you seen how crap we're playing? So yeah, in terms of Dwight Yorke's comments, really couldn't give a toss about Dwight Yorke's opinion right now regarding United's forwards. I think he can have his say. Obviously, he's an excellent forward himself, but when you're trying to big up Marcus Rashford and protect him and then sort of put down Højlund in a way, I'm really not really bothered for listening to that sort of crap, to be honest. So yeah, not really worried about what Dwight Yorke is saying. Even Kaz says, what was that all about on that one? Jordan Hall, how are you doing, Jordan? Hope you're well, my friend. I've not seen you first in the chat for a while. You're slacking, mate. It's just a joke. I'm only joking. I usually see your name pop up straight away as soon as the stream's ready to go live. I used to ref grassroots. Didn't need blue card. If someone needed to calm down, a small word with the manager solved it anyway. Do not bring it in. I think with some players though, they think they're bigger than the officials. That's the problem, Jordan. I think you could understand that probably. They have got way too much to say, and I think a little bit of discipline won't go amiss. And an extra threat of missing 10 minutes, that's a game changer. I think the bad mouthing will definitely calm down if blue cards are involved. I haven't honestly got a problem with it. I haven't. I know there's too much going on in the game and we're trying to do too much, but this is just a simple thing. We're telling players to stop abusing the referee and giving back chat or whatever it may be, and they're not listening. If there is a blue card in a pocket, it doesn't mean the ref has to get it out. I don't think we'll see much of it. But what we will see is a difference in players' attitudes towards referees in giving dissent and abuse to the refs. Then I think that will stop it. Adam, enjoyed Andy and your collaboration this morning. Thank you, Rob. We did have a blast. We are going to be doing more of that sort of stuff. We're hoping to get Andy on a bit more content as well, guys, especially around game days as well. So that should be exciting, bringing back the old school vibes of real fan channels on YouTube. But that's what we're aiming here on FUTV. Chris Wild Music. Why would you have to change the name of our stadium? It will be on the same plots and in the same area. So why do you have to have a different name? We don't necessarily have to have a different name. I'm not for a different name. I think it should be Old Trafford still. I don't know about the new Old Trafford. That looks stupid, doesn't it? But I've seen images where people have actually got that on the side of the stadium. I don't know where that's come from. I really don't. But obviously it's an upgrade. Just call it Old Trafford. Simple. Simples. Amas is in form for under 18. Plays for England left back. Yeah, everyone in the under 18s is in form. You have that many wins in a row, and you are that far ahead, already got the title in the bag, then you are clearly in form. Can you get me to 250 likes, guys? Just creeping up to the 450 mark in the room. So if everyone in the video right now give the video a like, it would do it would do the channel of the world of good. Of course it would. Work starts when? Work starts now, Red Mac. That's the title of the video, talking about Sir Jim Ratcliffe actually possibly being ratified as soon as tomorrow. And alongside that, we're expecting a director of football to be announced as well. That's what we're talking about work-wise. And then he's getting into the fans and getting their opinions on what Manchester United fans want with the new stadium. What is the best option? Decisions need to be made on this. The blueprints are there. The ground is there. The options are there. It's been dealt with. It's not been dealt with. It's been worked on for 2 years now. Results need to start coming through from that, and we need to start knowing what our options are. So yes, Sir Jim Ratcliffe talking with the fans and getting their opinions. That is what's important. He's a fullback that United picked up from a good academy. Can't remember which one, but it's been suggested as a reason why Alvaro was let go, says Graham regarding Amas. Good players coming through. So Jim Ratcliffe should just bring everything United into one location, including training centre, new ground and HQ. It'd be strange, but he will generate income for tours, etc. Everything United in one place. United will never do tours for the training complex and training ground, Jordan. I can see it for like the stadium. Maybe if there is a couple of different grounds for the women and under 21s next to Old Trafford, I can see all of that being looked into and stuff. That would be great. I just don't see United. They've been very, very closed doors for years, unless that's all about to change under INEOS. Very closed doors with the training complex and everything like that. I don't necessarily need the training ground to be right next to Old Trafford. No one's as lucky as what Manchester City are, with owners buying in to businesses, moving other businesses on to build on land around the stadium, make it all in one place. No one gets owners like that that lucky and try and cover their tracks with that sort of investment, sweetening things up. You know what I mean by that. I don't think we need to be near Old Trafford. The training ground can be a few miles away. It's not really an issue, that. The game day experience is what's important, and the best facilities for the players to train at. That is top of the agenda, and that's what needs to be set out, and that needs to be the main priority. David Burgess, I'd be happy for it to be called the Sir Matt Busby Stadium. He resurrected the club from the ashes of Munich. Trouble is, that would mean no money for Sir Jim or the Glazers. True, stadium naming rights are a big, big thing. Again, that's how our noisy neighbours ended up balancing half of their books. Don't talk about that, Adam. Don't talk about that. Glazers could charge to watch them train. Certain sessions, I don't know. I mean, like I think Madrid do that, don't they? I mean, some of the training grounds in Spain that I've seen have been spectacular. Just Sevilla's, going to Sevilla's. I mean, their training ground has a mini stadium there that's probably capable of housing League One games. That's Sevilla. So God knows what the likes of Real Madrid are dealing with. We've seen what they have, actually. Adam, are you going to travel for the summer tour this year? No, Rob, not this year. I've got to build the channel a little bit more. I've got to make it feasible for me to do anything like that. It is difficult when you are running it the way we are on my own at the moment, obviously with help from the likes of Ben, Greg and Connor. But yeah, and Kaz obviously as well. But yeah, it's not quite there yet. Maybe we were looking into that. I'd be really interested to actually go and do some work for the World Cup as well that's coming up. So looking into that as well one summer possibly, that would be amazing. I think naming rights are definitely going to happen, says Graham. It is a money spinner. It is. Graham's not going to be far off with that. There's going to be something involved with this when it comes about. Guaranteed. This is what Sir Jim is going to have to find out very quickly, because it can be insanely lucrative. It's probably one of the biggest money spinners that you can get. Like the Glazers daren't change Old Trafford's name as it was now, but they could have cleared United's debt with the amount of money that was on offer to get the naming rights changed at Old Trafford. It depends where you want to go. Do you want to... And this comes back to the conversation I had with you guys last night, is that everyone knows if the naming rights come in, that's money in the Glazers' pockets, and it's hard to move away from that. It's hard to take your mind off that happening and the Glazers using United's history to make more money. Saying that if it cleared all the debt, again, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? It really is. It's horrible. I don't want to talk about it, but if that conversation comes about, we will get into it. But you can see where the issues are straight away with what I just said there. Adam, what score on Sunday, in your opinion, please? Oh, I think high scoring. Somewhere around the 3-1-2-2 sort of territory. Either way. But I'm going for a United win. I'm confident the boys have got the bit between the teeth at the moment. First goal, vital. First goal for United, then game on. If not, could be a bit of a tricky afternoon. Wayne says, why do you guys that all run good respective United fan forums all hate on each other especially on the guy that brought a lot to you, to my others' attention together? You'd have a lot of influence. No, Wayne, that's complete garbage. Sorry, mate. He didn't, and whatever they tell you, it's not true. Trust me, it's not. We don't talk about things that went on behind the scenes. That's not fair on anyone. But you just have to take someone's word for it. And I wouldn't move away from the so-called biggest if it was all smelling of roses, would I? And everything was working right. Just let that be the decisive factor in all of this. I'm going to be I'm going to phone Erik ten Hag and offer to play on a free. I may be 66, but I still believe I can offer something up front, says Richard. Hey, we're scoring goals at the moment, Richard, so I don't think we need your services. I think we're all right. I do think we're all right. United Spotlights. Surely will be INEOS Old Trafford or something like that. Possibly. There'll be a lot of uproar if that happened, by the way, for a lot of reasons. Environmental being top of that list. Kaz has just explained to Wayne there what is going on. Thank you, Kaz. Club rebrand to Manchester United, to Manchester INEOS Grenadiers United. And now for me and my dyslexia, that would be a nightmare, Lee. So let's move away from that, please. That would just jump up and down all over the place for me. Dacro at 66, you can't even boil water. You need to get a number 2, Adam, and possibly a third person to stand in for you. Hey, this is all in the pipeline, guys. You have to grow and move steadily. You can't jump the gun too quickly. This is one thing I have learnt. You've got to put in the yards, you've got to put in the graphs. As you can see, we're bringing in different faces as we go forward. And eventually, hopefully, we'll take the channel to a place where we can have regular other people on the channel as well. So, yeah, let's see where it goes and let's see what happens. Chris Wild Music. The new plans for the empty shed look like they are stacking shipping containers outside. We will beat Villa. Their high line is suicide versus a team like us, as we found out at Old Trafford. That is correct. Guys, that pretty much sums up everything that has gone on today. Thank you so much. Cheers for tuning in with me and Andy earlier on, guys. Content like that, it's not easy to do, finding venues, getting everything set up, obviously organising people to move around. So I do really appreciate all of you guys tuning in and watching. I know it's in the middle of the day and you might be working, but that's where this channel grows. Them little views, even if you're just watching the video back later on, that is all fantastic and really appreciated. So we've got a build up to the weekend coming now. Friday tomorrow, weekend is here. Start talking football again. That's been a pretty quick week. I will bring you any news if it drops regarding Sir Jim Radcliffe, Ratification, Director of Football, player transfer news or anything like that. I am back at 12 o'clock tomorrow, everybody. Have a fantastic evening. Keep well, and I will see you all then. Thank you to the new members, everyone with the super chats and all of your comments. I think we got through quite a lot tonight, and I love it like that. But yeah, that is us for now. Thanks for watching, everyone.